Russian President Vladimir Putin has hailed what he describes as significant advances by his forces in eastern Ukraine. Speaking during a televised meeting with senior military officials, Putin claimed Russian units had made progress along several sectors of the front, particularly in contested areas of the Donetsk region. He praised the efforts of troops and commanders, framing the advances as evidence of Russia's strategic momentum. However, on the ground, Ukrainian officials report a more complex picture. While acknowledging that Russian forces have pressed forward in some locations, they emphasize that Ukrainian defenders have successfully repelled multiple assaults. In several cases, counterattacks have not only halted Russian advances, but pushed them back, retaking portions of territory in the Donetsk region that had been under Russian control for weeks. Military analysts note that the fighting in Donetsk remains fluid. Control over villages and positions can change hands multiple times in a matter of days. Both sides are committing significant resources to this sector, viewing it as strategically important for supply lines and morale. Ukrainian commanders say their recent gains were achieved through coordinated infantry maneuvers, supported by artillery and drone reconnaissance. These operations targeted Russian positions that had been weakened by earlier defensive actions, allowing Ukrainian units to advance without sustaining heavy losses. Despite these localized successes, Ukrainian military spokespeople warn that Russian forces are regrouping and preparing for renewed assaults. Intelligence reports suggest that additional Russian units, including mechanized brigades, are being moved toward the Donetsk front, along with increased artillery stockpiles and logistical support. The Ukrainian General Staff has cautioned that the coming weeks could see intensified fighting, with Russia potentially seeking to regain lost ground before winter conditions set in. Before we continue, what's your view on this back and forth in Donetsk? Do you think Ukraine's counterattacks can hold off a larger Russian push, or will Russia's reinforcements tip the balance in their favor? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. And if you value clear, fact-driven updates without the noise, hit subscribe now. NENC Media Group, new videos every other day. Returning to the developments, Putin's public statements are seen by some analysts as aimed at bolstering domestic support, highlighting advances, even if limited, to maintain the narrative of progress. Russian state media has echoed these claims, broadcasting footage of troops in recently contested areas, though independent verification of these locations remains limited. On the Ukrainian side, officials have released their own imagery showing liberated positions, destroyed Russian equipment, and captured ammunition. These releases serve both to inform the public and to counter Russian narratives. The Donetsk region has been a focal point of the conflict since 2014, when Russian-backed separatists seized control of large areas following the annexation of Crimea. Since the full-scale invasion in 2022, control lines have shifted repeatedly, with neither side able to secure a decisive breakthrough. Current fighting is concentrated around key transport hubs and defensive lines, where even small territorial changes can have outsized tactical importance. For Ukraine, holding and expanding positions in Donetsk is vital to preventing Russian forces from threatening nearby urban centers. For Russia, capturing more territory here would strengthen its hold on the region and provide leverage in any future negotiations. Reports from the front describe intense artillery duels, with both sides using drones for targeting and battlefield assessment. Ukrainian units have increasingly relied on precision-guided munitions supplied by Western partners, while Russia continues to deploy large volumes of conventional artillery fire. The human cost remains high. Local authorities in Donetsk report ongoing civilian evacuations from areas near active fighting. Infrastructure damage, including to power lines and water systems, has left many residents without basic services. Humanitarian organizations warn that conditions could worsen as colder weather approach. Looking ahead, the next phase of fighting in Donetsk will likely hinge on logistics, troop morale, and the ability to sustain operations under pressure. Ukraine's recent gains demonstrate that Russian advances are not inevitable, but the scale of Russia's mobilization suggests that further challenges are imminent. Both sides appear committed to holding their ground, and, where possible, seizing the initiative. This dynamic ensures that the Donetsk front will remain one of the most contested and closely watched areas of the war in the months to come. This is NENC Media Group. New geopolitical updates every other day. Stay informed. I'll see you in the next one.